Students, you have been doing great taking notes on our science unit, acids and bases. And what I want to do is mix it up with a new strategy. And this is called terms in the corner. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to get up and move depending upon whether or not the word that I give you is an acid or a base. So why don't you take a moment right now and review your notes. Go ahead. All right, for this active strategy, I'm going to need two people to make signs. Nick, Josh, do you mind helping me out? Okay, come on up. Nick, I'm going to need you to make a sign that says acids, and Josh, I want you to write bases. All right, class, great job reviewing your notes. Now remember, as the pH level changes, so does its classification. What I'm going to do is give you some substances. And based on the notes that you've taken and their pH levels, I want you to physically get up and move into one of the corners. Bases is in the back of the room, and acids is in the front of the room. All right, we're going to start with Molly's role. So Molly, Matt, Yuli, you can't review your notes, but I'm going to give you a substance, and based on what you wrote, you've got to move. All right. I'm going to use egg whites. Egg whites. All right, think about what you wrote down. Think about the number. And now I want you to move yourself into one of the corners. Go ahead. Okay. Molly, where are you?
Bases.
Why?
Because the pH level is 8.
Class, is she correct?
Yes.
Give a little something. Matt, did you know that too?
Yes, I did.
All right. What did you think the pH level was?
I thought that the pH was 5.
If it had been 5, you would have been correct. It would be an acid. Unfortunately, it was 8. Nice try though. Let's give a little something, everybody. All right, this time we're going to go across the front, all the way across. You ready? I'm going to use lemon juice. Think about what you wrote down for lemon juice. Think about the pH level. And now I want you to move. Go ahead. All right, awesome. What's the pH level?
2.
Correct. Good job.
This active learning strategy is an exciting variation of in the corner. If you tried in the corner, you know how fun and educational it can be. Now it's time to mix it up a bit. All you need are 2 signs or 3 signs or however many you feel you need to get one student or a group or a row or the entire class moving, laughing, and learning. I begin by having a few students create some basic signs. If I am teaching integrated language arts, for instance, I might use words such as grandiloquent, autobiographical, landscape, notorious, acronym, and ideology. These words would be written largely on colorful pieces of construction paper. Then, I would adhere them to the walls, spacing them out around the room as evenly as possible. Next, I would choose a few students randomly from my class and read the definition, or maybe just a few key words from it. Finally, the students I selected would get up and stand alongside the proper sign. You decide what terms, vocabulary words, numbers, formulas, book characters, historical people, places, or events you would like reinforced and remembered. As with most active learning strategies, there are few limits. If you are concerned with students simply following the quote, smart kid, try the technique demonstrated in the next clip. It will keep the followers guessing while challenging your more intelligent students.
Andrea, I asked you to stay after class today, not because you're in trouble, but because you are academically blessed.
Thank you.
Now, I know and you know that a lot of students ask you for extra help, and I think that's fantastic. Tomorrow, we're going to do an active learning strategy called Terms in the Corner, and that's where I'm going to hang up some signs. And these signs are going to be related to land features and water features.
Okay.
All right, there's going to be 4 signs. One's going to say mountains, one's going to say valleys, one's going to say lakes, and the last one's going to say rivers. So let's say I use the term Everest. I want you to get up, think about it for a little bit, and then to challenge you, I want you to come up with the term that you think is the opposite. So if I were to say Everest, what sign would you go to?
Valleys.
Bingo. And that'll challenge the other kids too, because they won't be able to just follow you. Some of them are going to know something's up, and they're going to have to think for themselves. You got it?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome, thank you. Let's review our unit on war and conflict. We talked about many different wars. I want to single out two of them today: the American Revolutionary War and the Civil War. I have a sign up here that says Causes of the American Revolution, and I have a sign on this wall that says Causes of the Civil War. And I'm going to choose three of you: Angela, Josh, and Nick. And I want you to think about this and then move to what you think is the correct sign. The Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party. Is that a cause of the American Revolutionary War, or is that a cause of the Civil War? Go ahead and move. All right, we've got two in one corner and one in the other. And the correct answer for the Boston Tea Party class is what?
The American Revolution.
All right, nice job. Let's give him a little something, something. Josh, no harm or foul. If you were to see this on a quiz, or if I were to put this on one of your assignments, and you saw Boston Tea Party, what would you put down? Civil War or American Revolutionary War?
American Revolution.
Awesome. Good job. Okay. Behind me it says 6. It says 10 over there. In the back corner it says 2. In this corner it says 15. And up here it says 9. So that's going to be the answer, one of those signs. Here it is. Everybody's got to solve it. 2x plus 5 equals 17. Go ahead and write that down. 2x plus 5 equals 17. All right, so that middle row, I want you to get up and move into what you think is the correct area. Go ahead. And the answer is, class? 6. What'd you think?
I don't know, I must have subtracted wrong.
Go ahead, solve it. One more person want to go up there and solve the last one? Dustin? All right, class. Great job reviewing your notes. Now tomorrow we have a quiz. And I want to see everybody do well. And I've got some signs around the room. This sign says igneous. The one in the back says metamorphic. And the one up here says sedimentary. And based on your notes and the information that you learned about rock classifications, you're going to physically get yourselves up and move into one of these corners. Now, I'm not going to give you the full definitions. I'm just going to give you part of it. You have to go to the correct corner. All right, we're going to start with these two rows right here. And I'm going to say intense heat and pressure. You think you know? All right, go ahead, get up and move yourself into what you think is the correct corner. Okay, everybody's in the corner that says metamorphic. Class, are they correct? Let's give them a little something.
Sometimes I say review your notes and check out those words around the room, and then I repeat myself. Again, review your notes, find those words on the wall, be ready. It is exciting to watch the students process the definition as they look about the room at the posted words. Once their notebooks are closed, I will read the definition, or part of it, and ask the students if they are sure they are standing alongside the correct word. I may choose the student that I feel is not completely sure why he or she is standing there to repeat the definition. If the student is still unsure, I ask another and then maybe another until I am positive all students know and understand what the word means. I also elaborate on terms as the students are waiting. If students are standing by the wrong sign, I may ask them why they moved to that particular word. I will then respectfully explain why they are incorrect, unless they provide me with an excellent rationale as to why I should accept their answer. And on more than one occasion, they have. Terms in the corner will help reinforce what your students have started to learn. It's also an exciting way to see what your students know or do not know. Use this active learning strategy at the beginning, middle, or end of a unit. Students that are reluctant because they perceive a weakness in their academic ability will sometimes be willing to hold the signs for me. When asking for assistance, I usually phrase it in some empowering way, such as, I need someone strong that can help me keep this sign visible for his or her classmates. I won't make you provide any answers at this time, but remember, it does require a fair amount of strength and stamina. Then, I zero in my focus on my reluctant students, asking respectfully if they might lend a hand. I am generally surprised by their willingness to assist me, and I am hopeful this will lead to greater participation in the future. Inevitably, during the course of the school year, students will come into our rooms excitedly sharing the latest gossip about other students. When I feel it is appropriate, I ask my students if they know what the biggest lie is they've ever been told. After entertaining a few guesses, I explain it's the age-old nursery rhyme that children still learn today. Sticks and stones will break my bones, and then I let my voice trail off as my students finish the expression loudly and in unison. But names will never hurt me. I explain that, in my opinion, names probably hurt worse than sticks and stones. Where sticks and stones may cause injuries on the outside of the body, malicious name-calling can go right to our hearts, leaving deep wounds on our souls that may never heal. Unfortunately, one does not have to look too hard in the news media for the latest story about a bullied teenager that took his or her own life. I respectfully remind my students to use their words to help, never to hurt. In the most serious of tones, I finish by saying, a more honest expression should be, sticks and stones will break my bones, and names will always hurt me.